cash flow can come from, of course, real estate, but also obviously within crypto too. There's so many ways to get that. So, anyways, as far as moving forward the conversation, yeah, let's just talk about more solutions here. You kind of laid a good framework for like how we should start thinking about it, but you're the expert here, so take us to the next step.
Yeah, Ben, and you brought up some good points there, right? Build projects that you believe in, right? That are going to create good for freedom, for time, for energy, for transparency, for ways that funds are moved. You're right, not having to be tied to something that's completely out of your control. Part of why I've also found that those who are in crypto also like investment real estate, especially more, I found that those in crypto typically are not wanting to invest in the stock market or wanting any part of that, right? Because real estate is something you can at least get your hands around, right? And then you can improve the property, you can serve the tenants. Now you're still subject to some governing bodies with rent control and different things that can come into play, but it's a tangible thing that you can control, a lot of control of it, right? And it can produce cash flow. But back to that story, I want to kind of connect the dots here for freedom, being able to build what you believe in. So that particular client, his name is Peter. He ended up exiting at when ETH hit 3,000 was his mark, right? And so it went to 6 million. It dropped back down. It crashed after, I think in 2018 it crashed. Then it went back up to 9 million and here early in 2021. And he's looking at it again. And I sit down with him and I say, hey, what do you want to do? He goes, well, A, we want to travel more, spend more time with our kids. But B, I want to go serve the cryptocurrency community. I want to retire from my W-2 job working for the big tech company. And I want to go build my own company that serves the cryptocurrency community. And I go, okay, well, what does that look like? He goes, well, something along, finance, something along, trading, something there. He's working that out. He goes, but here's the key, Brett. I want to know that if I can exit my $13.5 million position, that I can defer that tax and use those funds to fund that business venture, or I can use those funds to go buy an investment real estate property. And this is the part where if you're a crypto million listener listening to this, you want to focus on what's called tax flow and how do we efficiently use the funds that you would have paid to the government to fund your next business dream. And so step one, we formed a trust. Step two, he exited. He didn't exit all 13 and a half. He exited 5 to start. And then he also put it, he's formulating his business plan. He wants to buy, we live in Northern California, so there's a place called Lake Tahoe, and he wants to buy a Airbnb condo on the lake. It's kind of like a dream of everyone who lives in California in general. And then he wants to rent that out, use part of it, some of it for his family and stuff. But then he wants to start a crypto business here in the future. And so this is the part where it's amazing. All tax deferred, instead of paying about $2 million of tax, he's able to exit when it made sense for him. The other side of that is his wife. She wants to retire too, right? And so they can live off the cash flow of this trust, pay some tax slowly, but they get the full amount, kind of like an IRA, kind of like a 401k. So he liked it so much that about 2 months later, he exited another $2.5 million. And then we had another client who is in Bitcoin, and she bought it for 50,000, and it went to 50 million. And she worked for a big tech company in Silicon Valley, and she's in her 20s, and she wanted to build a business with her college roommate. And that vision was an educational online academy, something kind of like Khan Academy, but different, and focusing on educating even a broader group of folks. And so all of the things that you're talking about, building in the metaverse, it can be building real estate, it could be building businesses. You can do this in a tax efficient way and versus giving it to the government. And that's the key. Like, what are the rules that the government has laid out for us? How do we take advantage of those rules? Just like an IRA, a 1031 exchange, or a 401k, or the Deferred Sales Trust, that's the key. Know the rules and be able to exit smart versus exiting with a bunch of tax.